Let's talk about data structures in Python. So data structures are of two types, typically the built-in data structures and the user-defined data structures. Under built-in data structures, you will find list, dictionaries, tuple, and set. Let's talk about only this part as of now. So talking about list, tuple, set, and dictionaries, these are basically, you can think of them as a collection of data, right? So maybe you can have a collection of names, a collection of student ID, collection of machine part IDs, so on and so forth. So once you represent the collection with a single object, like list, tuple, set, or dictionary, we call them as data structures. Why they're important? Yeah, basically in various data analysis scenario, you will come across cases where you need to group different data types into a single structure. So coming to list, so lists are basically created using the square bracket, as you can see here. These are ordered, changeable. Ordered means they have an order, like position number 1, position 2, position 3. Changeable means you can change them or they are mutable. Heterogeneous means you can have in a list a number as well as string or text and so on and so forth. And they allow duplicates value. So which means you can have duplicate or repetitive values. If a new item is added to a list, it gets placed at the end of the list. They are indexed, which means the first item is represented with the index 0, second with index 1, so on and so forth. These indexes are used to slice or take out chunk of information from this list, which is also known as slicing, which we will cover in next few minutes. We also have negative lists, like we have here 0 and 1, which are positive indexing. We have negative list indexing, which helps in accessing elements in a reverse order. So which means -1 would be the last element, -2 second last element, so on and so forth. A list can be nested, which means we can have a list within a list. A list item can be of any type, like we can have a list of strings, we can have a list of integer, we can have a list of boolean, or a list which is a mix of these. Here are some of the example of list, like we have this list which has all strings, this is a list which has all numeric, and this is a list which has all boolean. Now let's go to the coding window and let's do some hands-on using Python and the list data structure. So here we have some code for you. Let's first start with creating a list, right? So if we have to create a list, we first need to give a name to the list, like here we have the name color list, and then we have to write the list elements within this square bracket, and then put each element within this square bracket. Like we can have, if this is a list of colors, then we have red color, put it inside inverted commas, comma, next color, let's say black, then inverted commas, so on and so forth. So right now we have a ready-made list for you. So we have this list which have these elements. Just to note again, square bracket start and square bracket end. This is how you create a list. Now within list, we can do multiple operations, or we can apply multiple operations to a list. So first one is to find the length of the list. So to find the length of the list, we use the len command. So what we do is we just put the name of the list and then we say len of that list. So basically len len bracket, the curve bracket, and then name of the list. And since we are trying to print it also, so we just put this print statement over here as well. So if we try to run these commands, so we'll see. Let me just. So let's run it from start. Now we have a list here, which is color list. Since I'm using a spider ID, you'll see it is showing me the type and the size and the values in here, right? I click here and see that this list has indices 0, 1, 2, 3, and at each index position we have a value which is a color, right? Okay. Now next is we ran the length of this color list, and this when we try to print it, and we get this as 4 because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 elements in this list. The next important command is the append command. Append basically is used to add an item to the end of the list. So basically, if you want to add a color magenta here, for instance, in this list, if you wanted to add magenta here like this, so what we can do is, so yeah, so if we wanted to add the color magenta to it, um, what we'll do is we'll say we'll write the name of the list like this, put a dot here, then the append command, and then within bracket, the curve bracket, you put the new element, right? So right now I'm putting magenta here. So I'll say color name of the list, color list dot append within bracket and within quotes magenta. And when I do it, so you'll see that in the color list, this magenta also gets added at index 4, the new index. And again, if I have to print it, I can print it list as well. So after append, the next important command is extend. If you want to extend a list, which means if you want to append elements from another list to the current list, which means we have a list here and we want to add elements from another list. So for that, let's first create a new list, which I'm calling as a new color list. And the elements in here are black, white, and gray. So we're using this new list, which has these 3 elements. And then if I have to extend the existing list, I'll write the name of the existing list dot extend command, and within this quotation, within this bracket, sorry, I'll put the name of the new list and then bracket close. So when I run this, you'll see that my list now gets these extra elements coming from the new color list, and these are black, white, and gray coming from this new list, which is new color list. So this is how you extend a list by adding elements of another list to an existing list. Next important command is to remove specific items. So to remove specific item, we use the remove method, right? And it removes the specified item. So for example, if in this list I want to remove the item or the color black, I just say name of the list dot remove within bracket the name of the item. If I run this, you'll see that in the list, the black element, the black color is gone. Uh, this is removing by calling the name of the item. What if I want to remove an element by its index position? So when I say the index position, we can take out an element based on the position in that list. For example, I'm creating a new list here, fruit list, and I have these 3 fruits, apple, banana, cherry here. If I say this list, which is fruit list dot pop command, and I say 1, so basically whatever is at index position 1 gets removed. So if I run this, I get this fruit list, and then you see the element at second position, which was banana, is gone. So basically pop is used to remove an element from a list based on its index position. Just to dig deeper into index position, let me just quickly give you a brief on what index position mean. So basically, in a list, we have multiple elements, right? So in this case, let's say we have this list, which is named as fruit list, and we have apple, banana, and cherry as the elements, right? So this list uh, has these elements. The location of the first element is at 0, second is at 1, and third is at 2. So this is how the list indexing works. Now coming back, and you can also see this index in if you're using Spider. So over here we have this index position and the name of the elements. Okay, coming back to the operations on list, the next important operation is looping through a list. So you can loop through elements of a list by using uh, a for loop. So let's say in this example we're using a for loop. For loop we have already discussed. So let's first define a list, which is the same list, the fruit list. And then what we'll do is we'll say for x in fruit list, and then obviously colon, and then print x. So basically, we can say for each element which is x in fruit list, to make it a little interesting, we can say for fruit in fruit list, which means for each fruit in fruit list, print fruit. So basically, what happens here is uh, I run through this list and I get a print of each element here, right? So this way I can loop through a list. This is a very interesting and important function or feature of list. Next is nested list. So in nested list, what we mean by nested list is we have a list within a list. So in this case, we have this list inside the existing list, right? So this is an example of nested list. Now for a list, we can slice elements in a list, right? So when I say slicing, so let's take an example first, the easy one, the simple list. So in this case, we have a list of fruits, right? And if I want to print a specific element, I can just say name of that list, which is this fruit list, right? I'm saying fruit list. And within square bracket, you type the index position, right? You can even type like a range of indices, right? Or you can just type it like this also, like this also. But for the time being, I'm just slicing one element at a time. So whatever is at index position 1, I want to slice it out. So I'm saying fruit list, square bracket 1, bracket close. When I try to print it, let's see what happens. So I get banana over here, which because the indexing is like 0, 1, and 2. So at first position, it's banana. That's why I'm getting the printout like this. Now, coming to the nested list, and we had this nested list here. Let me just, yeah. So is nested list. Now, in this case, if I see the position, so you'll see this is position 0, and each comma separates one element with the other. So this is first the 0th position. This is the first position, right? So if I say print x1, so what will happen is it will print, let's see what it prints, B and C, the list B and C, because list B and C, which has B and C, is at position number 1. Now if I further want to extract C from it, which is at position number 0 and 1 of this list, so I'll say out of this list, give me the first position. So now if I print this, this gives me C, which is the first position over here. In the same way, we can have further nesting of list. For example, we can even have something like this, right? Like this. And again, we can further say that out of this list, give me position 2 and then 1. So for which means out of this list, which is at position number 1, give me the second element, which is 0, 1, and 2, which is the second element. And then out of this, give me the first element, which is x, right? So if I try to run this, I get x over here. So that's how nested lists work. So that's all about list. Next, we're going to cover the next topic in data structures in Python.